let's move into like what you're doing with all of your social media stuff. I mean, you're all over the place, man. You got YouTube, you've got Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah, I got it all.
you got it
And
all.
I have it all. And, I follow, like probably everyone else, follows Gary Vaynerchuk. And so
Yeah.
he says, get on all these platforms and figure out what they're about. And that was the goal because I wanted to know where my audience was and how they looked at social media, how they use social media. And yeah, so I made it a point to really study each and every platform. So even before YouTube, I spent the summer, like it was 2016. So I was just about to go to grad school. And I had already gone to this conference called led by a CD Baby. It was the first ever conference they had. It was in Chicago, and so that was like October of 2015, and they said a lot about marketing. So you really had to get your marketing chops up because at the time my focus wasn't teaching. My focus was I want to play. So that was more of a musician conference, and so I prepared myself up until graduation to I had my website together, I had my EPK together, I had my bio together and all that. And so the next piece was how am I going to let people know that I exist? So I was studying YouTube for the entire summer. When I graduated up until I got to grad school and I I studied I studied all the ins and outs of YouTube, how to make a thumbnail, uh, keywords, descriptions, titles, all that. What makes a good video? And I spent all that time and I produced my first video September of 2016. And at first, it didn't really do much like on YouTube because YouTube is very finicky that way. Like it takes a long time to grow because it deals with keyword search and SEO, and SEO is search engine optimization. So, but that same video that I put on Facebook that really blew up to like 12,000 views in like a day or so, and I was like, what? Like why is this blowing up so much? And
Yeah.
and then also YouTube was like at the time it was just like 10 views at the time. But those two platforms work differently, and I had to figure out why those platforms work differently. So,
Yeah, well, that's we're in this new environment, and especially now COVID has just completely started to change the landscape of how we do things. And as more things go virtual, whether it be virtual performances, there are a lot of people that are doing that. Um, Actually, like my friend, former guest on my show, Mr. Danny Falcone from Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns. Santa Fe's band is, if you don't know Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, you need to check it out because that's a
mm,
bad horn playing in that group. But they're a Las Vegas based band, and since Vegas is basically shut down, they started doing live streams, and
yeah,
they're charging, they're monetizing those events. They're not just putting that stuff up for free completely, but they're adopting and adapting to the new environment. And I think a lot of people, um, old cats like me, sometimes struggle to keep up with the changes in technology, and we sometimes look at technology as being the enemy instead of
mm,
figuring out how to utilize it to better suit what we're doing. And especially if you're producing content, whether it be musical content or educational content, or I do a lot of motivational and mindset content, things like that. uh, Social media is the way to get it out there.
yeah.
So where? where did you go to? What were some of the resources that you used to get you into this, or was it just like I'm just diving in the deep end and figuring it out as I go along?
It was a little bit of both. And your take on just the more mature generation not really accepting technology. That's the case for even people my age. Like they don't really mess with social media and think it's like all evil. I'm like, bro, like that's how you get noticed. That's how you get seen. So you got to use it. But how I dove in was this website. My first ever course that I invested in myself about marketing was an online course. I think it was called Artist Works. Artist Works, and it had a full course and teaching you how to do Facebook, how like the ins and outs of Facebook, how to do YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. And so through that course, I went through it. They gave me all the information I needed, like how to create my cover page, how to put my bio, how to write my bio in each of these things. So that was the first ever course I went through to really learn about social media. And then after that, I just took off of just like diving deeper into, okay, who can I learn from that's teaching YouTube? And those people were Sunny Lenarduzzi. That was Amy Schmidt-Tower. Now her name is Amy Landino. She got married recently. Roberto Blake. What's another guy? Tim something. I can't forget, but I can't remember. But I started following those YouTube cats and following what their advice was on YouTube for free at first, and then I absorbed all of their content because I wanted to make sure that I was dotting my I's and crossing my T's with YouTube. So I would say first, dive deep into things that are free. If you can't afford or invest in yourself with some courses that really teach you the ins and outs of all these platforms. Of course, over time, the platforms evolve and change, but the core is still there of the content that they teach.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of interesting because when you think about it from the perspective of a jazz musician, what do all great jazz musicians tell you that you should do to become a great jazz musician? Listen
exactly
to people,
listen to the greats,
see what they're doing, how
absorb it.
Yeah, how does Freddie approach a 2/5? How does Woody
exactly
approach a 2/5? Right. Mm-hmm. Then you transcribe it, and I love the saying that Clark Terry has, which is imitate, assimilate, innovate. Yeah, so you just do what they do. Then
yes,
when it becomes part of you, and you can do it naturally, then you can start to add your own unique flavor to it.
Exactly, it's approachable. It's applicable to all things in life. Just those three words.
Yeah. I mean that and one other saying kind of have been my motto for a long time. Besides the Clark Terry one, the other one is how you do anything is how you do everything. There's just a basic way that you get good at stuff. And so once you figure that out, then it's just a matter of just plug and play, and just, you can learn the specifics, certainly, there are little things that make each thing unique, but the fundamentals, whether you want to be a great trumpet player or a great, digital marketer or a great football player, whatever, it doesn't really matter. You still have to go through that same process.
Yes. You still got to learn. You still got to put in the work.